All right. Well, we have a very special test today.
We have a very special test today, yeah.
It's that special that we don't live stream it this time, but we make sort of a live stream recorded event. So there's actually no script. This is for another video about the same stuff.
Yeah.
But we're gonna explain what it is, a little bit of history, and a more in-depth review than this recording session with music.
With music, yeah.
Yeah.
So today we have 3 Naim amplifiers on the stack. Then you say, okay, what's special about a Naim amplifier? Well, we have 2 special ones and 1 very special one. The very special one is mine.
Well, it is special. it is special. Yeah.
No, I'm kidding. The special ones are the original first integrated amplifier from Naim, Naim NAIT 1, or Naim NAIT as it was called.
The NAIT 1, man.
Yeah, the NAIT 1 was the one came later. I mean, it was introduced as the Naim NAIT.
True. No, but I mean, like, we have the name NAIT 1.
Yes.
Actually sitting there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
1983.
Pretty cool. 40 years old.
40 years old, yeah.
And we have to thank Latham Audio for that.
Yes.
And I really want to mention them because
Yeah.
it's actually owned by one of the guys from Latham.
Yeah.
And
So-
we are allowed to use it in a review.
Yeah.
That's
so
pretty cool.
That's very nice.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
thank you for letting it out to us.
Yeah.
And also we will take care of it, don't worry.
Yeah. We're not going to torture it.
No.
Then we have your amp, the XS2.
Yes. Which is a later generation. It's from 2013.
Yeah.
So that's 30 years older.
Yeah.
And it's been around for a long time. It's now an XS3 with a different amplifier technology in it.
True.
But this is a 2nd generation technology from Naim.
Yeah.
And we have the name 50.
Yeah.
And why it's called 50? Because Naim is 50 years old.
But we saw some errors on the internet.
Yeah.
They said it's the 50th anniversary of the NAIT 1. And I can imagine that mix-up because I actually thought as well that the name NAIT 1 was 50 years old, but it's 40 years old because it's from 1983. And this one is celebrating Naim's 50th birthday. And the name NAIT 1 was their first integrated amplifier, which was a huge success for them. But that's another story for the other video.
Yeah.
In this one, we're gonna play some music.
We're going to listen to those 3 amplifiers.
I'm gonna hear them for the first time.
Yep. Well, for me also the Naim 1 and the Naim 50.
Yeah. So we didn't hear a thing.
No. And we're going to listen to 2 pieces.
Yeah.
It's Naim is from 1973, 50th anniversary. So we had to play music from 1973.
Yeah.
What a busy music year it was.
So. Yeah.
But I decided that we had to pick something which will probably not be blocked by YouTube. That's always a challenge for us.
Yeah.
Because Dark Side of the Moon was released in 1973 from Pink Floyd.
Yeah.
For sure that will be blocked.
Yeah, probably.
Houses of the Holy from Led Zeppelin was
probably
released,
blocked.
Will be, not probably, for sure will be blocked. So from that list of impressive albums that were released in 1973, I picked For Your Pleasure from Roxy Music.
Yeah.
The last one with Brian Eno in there.
Thanks.
Many of the people still think that album is one of the best albums that Roxy Music made.
Yeah.
And you feel like a kind of musical tension already in there.
Yeah.
And this is the opening track called Do the Strand, which was a big hit and people still probably know it, so it's not something unfamiliar.
I'm gonna
It's very
swap off my phone.
It's very punchy and it's rhythmic. That's why we play it, because Naim is already famous for their rhythmic drive.
Yeah,
so a
definitely.
rhythmic track on a rhythmic amplifier.
Yeah.
And then we had to pick something else to listen to the music, and so you can really hear what those amplifiers can do.
Yeah.
And I thought, well, it has to be British as well, of course. So a piece from Edward Elgar, the British composer.
Nice.
It's called the Enigma Variations, which is if you ever seen Night of the Proms on the BBC, you've probably seen pieces of it. And this is the Nimrod variation from the Enigma Variations, which is a very familiar piece of music. A lot of people will. It's the kind of thing when you hear it, people say, I know that piece.
Yeah,
so that's why I selected it. It's the Liverpool Philharmonic Orchestra, so also a British orchestra.
We don't have British speakers. That's
no.
Almost had
British speakers.
But
that's another story.
That's another story.
So let's listen to the music. We start with the Naim NAIT, the first one from 1983.
Yes.
And we're very
one small thing about the system, because people are probably wondering what the chain of signal is. We use the streaming Alpha Audio PC. It goes into a Mutec MC3 Plus to the Sonnet. Sonnet is just open, 2 volts out, because we can only play single-handed in this case. We use a Chord Company RCA to DIN, because all 3 amplifiers have DIN inputs, because it's Naim, and you have a single-handed input RCA, but it doesn't sound as good as the DIN input. So we use DIN on all 3 of them. Same cable from Chord Company, Shoreline. So that's it. It's actually pretty straightforward. And we use our own TAD Evolution 2 loudspeakers with Dryade speaker cables in this case, because we only have banana plugs. We can't use other speaker cable, so there was only one choice. But the Dryade is fine. It's a good cable. And
for this level of amplifiers,
it's more than enough. It's.
I know from experience, because I had that cable.
You had it.
Cable at home for a review. It works perfectly with the.
It has the same rhythmic character and the fluidity that really matches Naim very well. So it's a good choice in this case. So I'm glad we had it. Power conditioning is done by Yeti and Isotech, and that's about it, I think.
Except the amplifiers. The amplifiers are plugged right into a a good quality.
That's a good one, because we don't use any filtering on the amps. No, it's just straight into the wall.
Especially the old Naim amplifiers are very sensitive to filtering and stuff like that, so you really shouldn't do it.
No. Let's play the first track on the Naim NAIT 1.
There's a new sensation, a fabulous creation, a danceable solution to teenage revolution. Do the strand love when you feel love. It's the new wave, and that's why we say do the strand. Do it on the tables, quackling is place on Mabel. Slow and gentle, sentimental, all styles served here. Louis says he prefer laissez-faire grand. Tired of the tango, fed up with fandango. Dance on moonbeams, slide on rainbow, in furs or blue jeans. You know what I mean. To the strand. Had your fill of quadrilles, the Madison and cheap thrills. Bored with the Begin, the Sanders and your scene. They're playing our tune by the pale moon. We're incognito down the Lido, and we like the Strand. Arabs and Oasis, Eskimos and Chinese. If you feel blue, look through who's who. See like Hulu and Nijinsky. Do the Stransky. Weary of the waltz and mashed potato schmaltz. Rhododendron, it's a nice flower. Evergreen, lasts forever, but it can't be Strand power. The Sphinx and Mona Lisa, Lolita and Ganita did the Strand.
That was pretty crazy for a 40-year-old amp.
I know that people, there are a lot of people who still have those old Naim amplifiers at home and they hang onto them for dear life.
Yeah, I get it.
I understand why, yeah.
I don't know the recording, so I need to compare it to the other two. But the rhythmic drive is nuts.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's,
Yeah.
I get that Naim is famous for Pratt now.
Yeah.
Damn, that's impressive. And it's 15 watts.
It's a 15 watt amplifier, yeah. But it can drive these speakers without any problem.
They're not hard, by the way. The Evolution 2s are not hard to drive, but still it's a modern floor standing speaker.
Yep.
Which is quite demanding in terms of clean signal, but I didn't hear any harshness. Nothing.
No.
It's fine.
Yeah, it's really hard to get the right recording because we stream it.
Yeah.
And the problem with streams is if you have a modern remastered version,
Oh,
the
they're
dynamics are
horrible.
gone and
Yeah.
it sounds flat. So this is the original CD master.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh,
So
nice.
I'm happy that it's still available on the Cobus.
Yeah.
So it's a CD quality track, but it has the dynamics of the original CD recording, and
Good.
that's what you hear. Yeah.
Good.
Yeah.
Yeah. We both know that masters are not always better.
Yes.
Is it an idea that we switch from the NAIT 1 to the XS2 now
Yeah,
to keep the same track?
To keep the same track. That's
Yes,
fine. Yeah.
that's what I thought. Always fun with Naim amplifiers is that left and right is swapped.
Yes. I always mix them up.
This is right, so yeah, this is the one. I always mix it up as well. I even did it in a live stream once. And yeah, it's just really, really weird. But we go from 15 watts to 70 watts now.
2 times 70 watts, yeah.
More modern power supply.
A big power supply in it. So I'm curious to see how it stands up against the NAIT 1. I'm a little bit afraid, actually.
A bit afraid, yeah. In terms of Pratt, it's going to be hard to beat, but I guess it has more grunt.
Yeah, so we're going to find out.
Yeah, let's check it out.
A fabulous creation, a danceable solution to teenage revolution. To the Strand, love, when you feel love, it's the new way. That's why we say, do the Strand. Do it on the tables, Quackle's place on Mabel's. Slow and gentle, sentimental, all styles served here. Louis says he prefers laissez faire Strand. beat of the tango, fed up with fandango. Dance on moonbeams, slide on rainbow, in furs or blue jeans. You know what I mean. To the strand. Had your fill of quadrilles, the mad sun and cheap thrills. Bored with the McGee, the Sanders and your scene. They're playing our tune by the pale moon. We're incognito down the Lido, and we like the Strand. Arabs and oases, Eskimos and Chinese. If you feel blue, look through who's who. See like Hulu and Nijinsky, Dungarstransky. Weary of the waltz and mashed potato schmaltz. Rhododendron, it's a nice flower, evergreen, lasts forever, but it can't be Strand power. The Sphinx and Mona Lisa, Lolita and Ganika, did the Strand.
Makes me think of Monty Python for some reason.
Oh, I don't have the association with Monty Python.
Yeah, somehow I have to think about Monty Python, but damn, that's a difference.
Yeah, that's a huge difference. Yeah.
Yeah.
In terms of soundstage, the soundstage is much wider, and
Yeah.
There's more layering in the soundstage.
Yeah.
By far, the NAIT 1 is more centered
Yeah.
in the soundstage.
Yeah.
I think though the fun factor of the NAIT 1 is
It's
that's a more serious amplifier. That's much more fun.
fun. Yeah, it's
Yeah.
pretty darn impressive what they did in '83. It's
yeah.
it has the same rhythmic drive though. The signature is obviously there.
Yeah.
And that's I think it's impressive that Naim kept it so well in their core, because how can an amplifier have a rhythmic character? I'm not a designer in any way, so for me it's like voodoo, how you can create an amp with a certain signature anyway, but they did, and it's really obvious that they focused on that. It's more serious.
It's more serious.
Yeah. Yeah.
The big power supply, that's where you hear the layering and the grip.
I guess.
So that's, but the funny thing is, I mean, I play this one often at home. I don't have TAD speakers at home.
No.
But I still recognize my amplifier.
Yeah, I can imagine. Yeah, it's pretty dominant in the system, because normally I play with a completely different system, of course.
Yeah.
It's so obvious that it's a Naim.
Yeah.
My speaker transforms.
Yes.
It's really funny.
I noticed. I know how it. How
yeah, you know
those
them as
sound
well.
With,
yeah.
With the pulse lab. So
yeah,
it's very funny to realize that it's indeed the amplifier I'm listening to right now.
Yeah, like that's what we mostly say. You need to find a good marriage between a speaker and an amplifier, because it's so obvious that it's one. It's a circle. It's an ecosystem, and they need to work together. And it's just funny to hear that my system transformed into a name system now.
Yeah. The NAIT 1 is a little bit darker. What I noticed when listening, that the drums are drier and more upfront with.
I think the frequency curve is like this.
Yeah.
Obviously more treble extension.
Yeah.
Obviously more bass extension.
Yep.
Is warmer.
Yeah.
That one is focused on rhythmic drive fun, but there's less bass and there's less treble.
Yeah.
It's maybe because it's 40 years old and never been restored.
Yeah, could be. Yeah.
But it's dead silent. So Latham, Rowan, it doesn't hum.
No.
It's dead silent.
So maybe because it's warmed up.
I don't know, or there's a ground loop in their setup.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's silent here.
It's silent here.
NAIT 50.
So onto the NAIT 50, yeah.
Yeah. I'll put it on mute. I'll be careful with your amp. No worries.
That's one of the things with the Naim amplifier, most amplifiers, but with the Naim amplifier specifically these generations, that you have to be very careful when connecting equipment and your speakers.
Left. No. Damn, Naim. Why?
Yes.
Why?
I really don't know why they mixed it up.
Stupid.
It's consistent across all the amplifiers.
Yeah.
Even on the NAIT 50, it's confusion.
So confusing.
So the NAIT 50, the 50th anniversary edition, that they made a copy of the NAIT 1. If you see them side by side like we do right now, there are small differences in size.
They did a good job.
They did a wonderful job. And then you think, like we said, we saw them at the NAIT 50 at the high end in Munich when it was introduced.
Yeah.
And then we thought, oh yeah, well, another vintage gimmick, retro, whatever.
Honestly, yes, that's what I thought. Yeah.
And
I was skeptical.
Then we saw it. They did a nice job on it. Yeah.
Yeah, because mostly it's too modern. If they make a retro version, it's too modern. This is a good job. Yeah. I wish they kept the LED green though.
Yeah. Well. Yes, me too. But let's not go there. No. We talk about in another video about the differences between the amplifiers.
Yeah. A lot of differences.
A lot of differences. This is about listening to it. So I'm very curious what we'll do with this track, also because it's a very modern amplifier.
Yeah.
It has different technology than the XS2. And let's see if it's still that rhythmic character.
We didn't hear it yet, so I'm really curious. Yep, this one.
A fabulous creation. A danceable solution to teenage revolution. Do the strand love when you feel love. It's the new wave. That's why we say do the strand. Do it on the tables. Quackly was placed on Mabel. Slow and gentle, sentimental, all styles served here. Louis says he prefer laissez-faire's ground. Tired of the tango, fed up with fandango. Dance on moonbeams, slide on rainbow. It furs or blue jeans, beam to the strand. Had your fill of quadrilles, the Madison and cheap thrills, bored with the beguine, the samba isn't your scene. They're playing our tune by the pale moon. We're incognito down the Lido, and we like the slam. Arabs and oases, Eskimos and Chinese. If you feel blue, look through who's who. See like voodoo and Nijinsky. Do the Stransky. Weary of the waltz and mashed potato schmaltz. Rhododendron, it's a nice flower. Evergreen, lasts forever, but it can't beat strand power. The Sphinx and Mona Lisa, Lolita and Ganika did the strand.
Whew, that's different.
25 watts.
Yeah, insane.
Like Jason Gould said in an interview that we had with him in Munich, it's 25 Salisbury watts.
Yep.
The factory of Naim is in Salisbury in
Yeah.
the UK.
I can get it now. It's
It's insane.
wow.
The watts.
It is quite impressive.
Yeah.
But you saw us discussing a lot during the
Yeah.
play. It's because it's so different.
Yeah.
It's really different from the other two. And I noticed when Naim implemented the DR technology, discrete regulator technology for the power supplies, it was like a shift. It's so different. It's really fast, but it also makes the names much more transparent.
Yeah.
And I was a little bit anxious and hesitant because I don't know if Naim consumers like that. Like you said, it reminds me of a Rega now. Rega.
Yeah.
And I guess you're right.
Yeah. It's the green light.
We got it, people.
We got it.
It's the green light.
No, it's a very different characteristic. It's it's a far more modern kind of amplifier.
Yes.
This can stack up against very expensive amplifiers, I think.
Oh yeah. It's really good.
It's really good. It's so detailed and transparent in sound and very layered, and you hear all kinds of nuances in the guitar from
Absolutely. The saxophone was like, oh, I can hear him breathing now.
Yeah.
I don't know if you heard it on the live stream. Oh, live. It's not live.
It's not live.
On the stream, but it's you can hear the breath going into the saxophone almost.
Yeah.
It's that detailed. It's impressive.
Yeah. Having said that, but here's the
The name Hard.
The name Hard, the name owner.
Yeah.
It trades something with all the detail and the resolution and the impressive grip that this amplifier has on the speakers.
Yeah.
It's really impressive. it's also a little bit more upfront than the other names.
Yep.
And I'm missing something in the depth of the sound of the notes.
Yep.
Which is different. It's a different kind of sound than the other than the others. And that I noticed at home also a lot when I was reviewing different amplifiers and different speakers. And
a lot of amps have that.
It's always if you have a lot of detail in music, you lose something in the depth and the weight of the
notes.
In the notes, it's kind of a trade-off that you have to make as an.
It's finding the balance, maybe. Yeah, it's what you noticed with the new 300 series as well. It's where they're going, I think.
Yeah.
Is that a bad thing? I don't know. It's different.
It's different. Yeah.
I can also hear, I think, that it's tuned on a vocal loudspeaker, a modern one.
Okay, can be.
Yeah.
It's the step from the NAIT 1 to the XS2 was there, but it was like they are clearly family.
Yeah.
In sound signature.
This isn't.
In a way. This is like more a distant cousin.
Yeah, because you can hear the rhythmic drive still, very, very much. Yeah, it's very energetic. I can imagine that this on a Graham loudspeaker, wow, it's gonna be awesome.
Yeah.
That's gonna be awesome. Yeah.
I'm still a bit baffled about how much grip and power such a little box can produce.
Completely nuts.
Yeah.
Yeah, 25 watts. Come on. I normally play with like 150 watts.
And in case you're wondering, before we started this recording, we leveled all the amplifiers.
Yeah, they're all the same level.
So they're the same level. We made sure that they are at the same volume, playing at the same volume.
It feels louder.
It feels a lot louder, yeah.
Yeah, that's because of the drive, I think.
It's more upfront and more towards you than the other two. So I think, great comparison to see what Naim did. It's really like stepping through the history of Naim.
Yeah. You can hear the different eras of Naim. That's fun.
That's fun.
Let's start off. Maybe we can go back now.
Backwards, yeah.
Because it's still connected and just leave it that way. To the classical piece.
Yep.
Yes.
The Enigma variations, Nimrod variation, the Liverpool Philharmonic Orchestra with Petrenko on the helm.
Yep.
That's amazing.
That's damn impressive.
It's like navigating through the orchestra.
I'm completely
It's
blown away.
yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, now I understand why they make amplifiers like this. It's a modern recording.
Wow, that's really
It clicked in my head right now because it's a modern recording. This one.
Yeah.
It's a high-res recording that has been released a few years ago, made in a high standard. I mean, it's a classical recording,
it's
so
really well done.
It's really well done, yeah. With a lot of detail in the piece, in the orchestra, how it's recorded, what you hear in the different sections of the orchestra. The dynamics are swelling in this one. That's why I chose it, because it's
beautiful.
It's beautiful how it builds up and retreats again at the end.
Yeah.
And then this amplifier just nails it.
Absolutely nails it.
Yeah.
I have nothing to say. It was really good. Yeah. Let's go to your.
Yeah, we've heard very expensive
that did less.
amplifiers
Yeah.
with orchestral pieces. I could live with this, no problem.
I could live with this as well. Yeah. I was thinking, and I'm sorry, Boss Labs, but it even reminded me of the Boss Labs integrated 25 watt Class A amp. It is so smooth, and it feels so organic and fluid, and I thought, damn, why didn't I buy that one? Because it had some magic dust. That integrated amp is so beautiful, and this one reminded me of it. Yeah. It's like, you don't need more than 25 watts.
Yeah.
It's
left, right was correct.
Yeah, now it's correct.
Because I heard the bass section on the right side.
No. It's good.
Okay.
This is left. Yeah. And this is right. Yeah. Let's see how your XS2 does.
I think I can predict.
I think I can predict as well.
Yeah.
Okay. Microphones are on. wanted to make a Simpson joke, but not gonna do that. I starting to understand what you mean with texture.
Yeah. This is exactly, you lose a lot of detail that we had.
Yeah,
the previous
definitely.
One, a lot.
Yeah, you do.
But there's a depth in the sounds.
I get it now.
The violins and
the strings,
yeah,
the violins have more depth.
Yeah.
But like you said, you do lose detail.
Yeah.
I absolutely had less of a hard time feeling all the different layers in this piece. And in the end, I noticed that the amp was like, ooh, there's a lot happening now.
Yeah.
And the NAIT 50 was like, let's go.
The grip of that.
This is crazy.
Yeah.
But it wasn't less fun listening to it.
No, actually I prefer this.
I don't know what I prefer.
Yeah, I prefer this because of the reason. Also, I noticed another thing that was I heard more of the whole, the reverb, than with the previous one, and it's more like you're closer to the orchestra, and there was a little bit more depth in the soundstage. Yeah,
it's more there.
Yeah,
but the 50 projects more forward.
Yeah.
So you have a feeling of 3D-ness. I have to listen again to determine if that's faked depth or real depth. I'm not sure. I think it's real, but it's absolutely more upfront. So the feeling of being there is like you're inside the orchestra and not auditioning like the orchestra.
With the NAIT 50, it's like really navigating through the orchestra.
Yeah. You know what I like.
Yeah.
So I'm still tending towards the 50 because of the resolution and the detail.
Yeah.
But I can completely understand that people like the XS2 more. It's way less like a surgeon.
Yeah.
I get it. I'm really curious about the NAIT 1 now.
Yeah, what it can do. What I heard also, there's a difference, a little bit of difference in the timing of the basses.
Also here?
Yeah.
Oh, funny.
And it's different. I mean, the pacing is a bit different across the spectrum. That's what I noticed.
I didn't.
Yeah.
But I listen differently than you. That's not a secret.
That was obvious.
You're sensitive to bass.
Yeah. No, well, not just the timing of everything. How it's aligned, everything aligned together.
Yeah.
I'm curious what the NAIT 1 will do.
13 Salisbury watts, 40 years old. Let's mute. I didn't forget. Let's see how.
That one is on still, the one before you.
Oh, is it? Okay. Yeah, I have to be careful with that. Let's see. This is tuner tape. Minus. Well, there's one thing with names. You have to be sharp when you attach everything.
Yeah.
It keeps you on your toes.
I like the DIN plugs though.
Yeah, they're great.
I never understood why they didn't become a standard.
I asked about it in the factory. You can see a factory tour on the Alpha Audio channel as well. It's a great factory tour. I love the factory. They have there. It's just a nerdy place to be. It's great, and they all know their stuff. Yeah. And we're accustomed to using RCA and XLR. I prefer balanced by far compared to RCA. Single-handed RCA sucks big time in terms of technology, and that's why they used DIN, because it's star grounded throughout the whole chain.
Yeah.
But it just didn't work out. But the plugs are really nice. It's just nice. Kluk, done.
Yeah.
You don't get any hum, grounding issues, buzzing when you put it in.
No.
doesn't happen. And with RCA, you can blow up your amplifier. I'm not kidding. It's that dangerous. It's a stupid system, but it's easy.
Yep.
So,
but anyway,
that's a whole other story. Let's go to yeah. With the pop song, you don't really hear it that obvious.
No.
But with this classical piece, it's completely different.
Yeah.
It's really funny.
It's really about the ebb and the flow of the music. So how the music flows in this piece and how it elevates and quiets down and elevates again. That's
it nailed
special.
it in that sense.
Yes.
Absolutely. I have exactly the same feeling.
Yeah.
Like the flow in the music is amazing in this amp.
Compared to the 50th anniversary Naim NAIT 50, that the detail in the music.
Not gonna talk about that.
It's amazing how big the step up is from the NAIT 1 to the NAIT 50.
It's crazy.
If you hear it in terms of detail resolution,
oh, it's crazy.
Layering, all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
But when you talk about music, listening to music,
the flow of the NAIT 1 is special. Yes, it is.
Yeah.
But like you said, in terms of resolution, control, dynamic, the 50 is so much better. But like it all doesn't matter if you switch on the NAIT 1 and you just listen to this classical piece.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I get it. It's I think it was fun comparing these.
Yeah.
Listening to it.
It's not a trip down memory lane for me because I don't even own one of them.
No.
But it's like a historical road trip from the 80s to now.
Yes.
It's fun.
And how amplifier technology has evolved over the time. It's not just name. I mean,
No.
I think if you have other brands and other amplifiers from the same eras,
Yeah.
and you compare them like this, you will get a similar kind of story, I think.
There is one thing though. We evolved from the Naim 1, which is an amazing piece of gear, especially if you consider it's 40 years old,
Yes.
to the NAIT 50. I mean, the NAIT 50 has DR technology, all the new stuff that Naim can create and developed, and it's all in the 200 and 300 series in even better ways. But I don't think we need more resolution.
No, never say never though, but I think
They shouldn't go too far.
no.
And forget about all the other stuff.
In music.
Exactly.
Yeah. Like the NAIT 1 just showed.
The flow
The flow in
is
music.
so special,
Yes.
and we shouldn't
I agree.
lose that. Like, there's more in music than layering, resolution, and speed.
Yeah.
It
That's-
should be balanced.
And that's why I'm keeping hanging on to my XS2.
On that bombshell.